All veils and misty, streets are blue. Almond looks, that chill divine.
When we arrived in Borneo, one of the first things we noticed was the stilt housing. There are literally millions of people living in stilt houses throughout Southeast Asia. The main reason for doing this is for protection from flooding.
But also, of course, it's so much cheaper than buying land. It keeps vermin out and they have good ventilation. A downside that we noticed was that when an area gets overcrowded with stilt housing, the pollution really gets out of control.
Moment goes on forever, and we're leaving broken hearts behind.
We went to Mabul Island and stayed in a so-called resort at the end of the stilt village on the western side of the island. Some of the exotic resorts are mind-blowingly beautiful in appearance, but the slums and stilt housing, as interesting as they are, aren't so pretty.
Mystify me, mystify me.
Welcome to Mabul and Sipidan, or diving rig over there, and in front of this really rich posh resort with all the dive boats.
Some twisted selection that tangles me to keep me alive.
The reef and sea life is incredible around Mabul Island. Unfortunately, the visibility wasn't great, but we still got to see so many amazing creatures while snorkeling.
In all that exists, but none has your beauty. I see your face, and I will survive.
Unfortunately, this resort was way out of our budget, but we were able to sneak in for some photos, videos and droning. There's so much eye candy here that we must have taken hundreds of photos.
Mystify me, eternally wild with the power to make every moment come alive. All the stars will shine upon you.
Being an avid scuba diver myself, I went diving out at Sipidan. Sipidan is famous in diving circles, so it's been on my hit list for a long time.
All veils and misty streets are blue. Almond looks, that chill divine.
It didn't quite live up to its hype for me, but it's probably because the visibility was down. However, I did get to see lots of cool things that I'd never seen before, so it was definitely worth the effort in getting there.
Has your beauty, I see your face, and I will survive. Mystify.
The best thing for me was swimming through the enormous schools of jackfish. There must have been tens of thousands in this school. Fortunately, Sipidan is a very well protected marine park, and hopefully future generations will be able to see this incredible place.
Eternally wild with the power to make every moment come alive. All the stars will shine upon you.
We stayed at Uncle Chan's resort, which was okay. It needs a bit of work, but it suited our needs and our budget for this trip. The best thing about it, it sits on the western point of the island, and therefore you get some incredible sunsets.
Almond looks, that chill divine. Some silken moment goes on forever.
We just come to our accommodation, Diane, which happens to be up there. Oh, there's our washing. There's our washing. Yes, and check out what's below. Diane, you want some seafood tonight? This is the place to buy it.
These fish markets were amazing, being completely built up on a bank of seashells, and at sunset it was incredible. We didn't buy anything though, since we didn't have a kitchen to cook anything in.
We ended up having a stay in Tawau, since it's the nearest airport to Semporna. Our next stop will be Kuching in Sarawak.
Mystify, you mystify me. Mystify.